Hello, folks. We have reached the end. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. We've reached the end. No, it's the end of '07. It's the end of year review thing. I don't know. I've called this two different things apparently, as we've realized that one time.
Yeah.
Puddy, how's it going?
I'm all right. I'm good.
Nice. Should we hit the next day button and be shocked by the things?
Who do you think is gonna be wrestler of the year?
It's a good question. I tried to think about this last night for a little bit. I think there's a legitimate chance that it is. I think there's a decent chance it might be Heat.
Who the fuck is Heat?
Minoru Tanaka.
Oh, okay.
Him. It's like him, Super Crazy, Danielson, and Chris
Brock
Daniels.
Lesnar.
Well, sure, but those four specifically just fight each other all the time for New Japan and just pull 99 every single time. So I'm thinking.
Oh, I get it. That makes sense.
I'm
then,
thinking
yeah.
they may just have farmed the fucking system, and it'll be like
Is this
Super Crazy?
Is this why you're so interested in Super Crazy? Because you still never got back to me on why you were so going to bat for that man.
He's pretty all right at wrestling.
Yeah.
He's got.
Wait, I agree with that, and ironically, it feels like you're using that as a what's the word? Like an opposite hyperbole.
An opposite hyperbole?
Yeah, like you're an understatement.
Oh,
like you're saying pretty all right to imply he's like God or something.
Fine. I would say Super Crazy is pretty good at this shit. He's got like a good kind of babyface charisma to him. I feel like a very emotive guy. Like
it's weird though. It's not authentic. He's like he's a cartoon character.
True. Kind of true. But he's kind of a really cool.
He's a little weirdo.
He is a little weirdo. He's super crazy.
That's another thing. It's a weird name. I don't like it, Tucker. It's a very sports empty. I can't imagine that man winning a world title.
Should he be mildly crazy?
What's his real name? What's his government name?
That's a good question. Hold on here.
I'll probably check in the game.
I probably could. I could also just Google it. Francisco Rueda. Francisco Islas Rueda.
Yeah, that would need some work. Franco, though. Franco is a good start.
Franco Rueda.
Yeah, we need to change the last name.
You don't like the last name?
Nah, it doesn't flow.
Oh, I guess it's just Rueda. It's not Rueda. It's Rueda.
Franco Gonzalez, maybe? Franco Loco Pollo. Franco Loco Grande.
Franco de Apuestas.
All right, let's see if Franco Loco Grande has won the Wrestler of the Year award.
Here we go, folks. I just want to make sure we are good here. Yeah, all right. Everything's good on the recording side. Cool.
JC Ryder, is he Wrestler of the Year?
That's Orange Cassidy.
Who do you think our highest rated wrestler is going to be quick before it tilts over?
I'm going
Chavo.
Yeah, probably Chavo.
It's probably not Chavo, but that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, it's probably not Chavo. It's probably like Cena or something.
Shawn, it can't be Cena. He hasn't wrestled enough, surely.
Maybe you're right.
Shawn hasn't done that much either this year. He's the usual suspect. Maybe like one of the Raw guys, like Orton,
Triple H.
Shelton. Might be Triple H, actually.
Triple H.
I don't know if his high end's high enough. I don't think we're gonna have anyone in like the top 50.
No, I don't think so either.
It's been a down year for consistently good graps on our end.
It's a lot of tag teams. Jesus.
To go into all of them, evaluating their case. Monthly database
It is
compacting.
Heat. Or no, it's not Heat. My bad. Who the fuck is this guy?
You racist.
Well,
It's Ikuto
Look. Okay, hold on. You'll see why. They have similar pictures. Kind of. I stand on my defense.
Very well.
So,
Are we the
this
company?
guy-
Should we check out some of his matches?
Yeah,
They seem all right.
Oh, he's the guy who teams with Heat.
Teams with him, yeah.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Their junior div is just fucking insane. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there.
Is this man a junior? This man does not strike me as a junior.
Toned small.
He is, in fact, definitely a junior, yeah.
Started in Battle Arts.
Wow. And then he was the top junior of 0-1.
What a prestigious honor.
Holy wait, peep this guy's stats real quick. I've just seen a couple of them and holy
Yup.
the fuck? Man, some of the American guys get like 40 brawling when they're Chris Hero, but this guy, like, yeah, fuck it, give him 80 technical, 86 flashiness.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird stuff, man.
This guy's crazy. I love him. He's great. Let's sign him. Put him on a short list. Okay.
It'll be a year and 2 months.
Nah. Don't worry about it.
Company of the year.
It's gonna be us. Surely it's us.
I don't think it's us. I think it might be
Surely
TNA.
it's us. It's us. It's always us.
It is us.
It's us. Yeah.
Sixth.
Nice.
Sixth. So is that our 4th straight or something? Company of the year. Yeah, it's our 4th straight.
We've won it every year since we started the save.
Eat your fucking heart out, Misawa. I own you.
He's lost all his guys to New Japan anyway.
That's true, he did, yeah. Tag of the year.
That's gotta be Heaton.
It's gonna be
the
Heat.
wrestler of the year.
Yeah. Fuck you, New Japan. You're the worst to play a fucking save against.
Match of the year is gonna be something to do with Heat.
Yep. No. Wow, what a collection of boys.
Holy shit.
What a collection of guys. Wow.
Yeah.
Show of the year.
5 stars. This is gonna be them, isn't it? It might be us actually. Could be Mania because it's probably Mania because of the celebrities and stuff.
It is tribute to the troops.
Whoa! What? Hello?
And you
niche
were all
pick.
panicked about fucking nobody's gonna watch this show. Nobody knows the main event. Nope, it was the greatest show ever.
Nobody did watch it. That's why Dave put it in as show of the year. He's like, look, I know nobody's seen this thing, but it's so good. You guys all need to go watch it.
Young wrestler of the year.
Kota Ibushi.
Yo, it's Mikey Bats again. Let's go.
Fucking Mikey Bats. Is he on our short list?
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's why I was like, it's him again. Yeah, because I think we knew we wanted him.
Yeah, he can be Millennium Man.
Yeah. I dig that vibe. He's only 22. It's fucked up.
Well, he's Young Wrestler of the Year, Tucker.
Yeah, fair enough. Veteran Wrestler of the Year.
Tenzon?
Put me down for Raven.
Oh, good shout.
Chono.
Oh,
How did Chono do this year?
what's he doing? He's wrestling. He's got a handshake deal with New Japan. We could sign him.
I don't think we could. I think that won't.
We could sign him on a non-exclusive deal.
We just bring in Chono. Just starts popping up
for WrestleMania.
He's over.
Look,
brother.
let's scrap our current plans. It's Masahiro Chono versus Floyd Mayweather at WrestleMania.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just kicks him.
Female wrestler of the year. Surely that one's ours. Nobody else in the world does women's wrestling.
Yeah, okay. Expected.
Yeah. Although I think Nat was robbed. She's had a hell of a year.
Damn, that's the peak of women's wrestling right there, guys. That's as good as it gets.
82 was the best match, I think. So that's why Tribute to the Troops was show of the year.
Yeah, that's why Tribute to the Troops was just the best.
These awards really stink of Dave watched nothing but New Japan and then watched Tribute to the Troops.
Yeah.
Who won the match? Trish, chuck her in there.
Most improved company?
Some Fox, maybe? TNA?
Fox?
I don't know.
Yeah, TNA is a good shout. Could be like AWASW or something. I don't know. Oh, it's just us.
What?
Do we just win that every year? Hold on.
No way do we win that every year.
No, see, we haven't.
Even they agree we've been doing better this year. But I feel like our growth hasn't been that high.
No. Also, the last company to win this folded this year.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. That's a bad omen.
Yeah. Independent Wrestler of the Year.
No idea.
It's gonna be Jimmy Jacobs. Hey, buddy.
What?
I got a few questions. Huh? I got a few questions for you.
Excuse me?
Are you taking bookings on the side? We don't know. I guess.
He didn't even wrestle a single independent show this year. What the hell?
Yeah, no, what the fuck? He worked ROH, TNA, and 3 PW, and like 1 BCW show, 1 NLW show. None of these are indie shows. Fucking lies. Fucking lies.
How come he's working all those shows alongside our shows? He's not exclusive with us, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got.
Okay, I guess he's
no
just seeing out his dates.
Yeah, I guess so. Weird. That's bullshit. Whatever. Manager of the Year?
It's gotta be Taz. Come on, he had a hell of a year. What? Excuse me? I've got questions.
He's manager, color commentator, personality, road agent in TNA.
Has he always been 100 pop? When did that happen?
No, that happened when Fozzy went triple platinum. Remember? I talked about that.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Fozzy got crazy popular. Announcer of the Year, Styles?
I think it'll be a Japanese guy.
Hey.
Oh, it is Styles.
Color comm will probably be a Japanese guy. None of our color comms should win this.
Yeah, maybe Regal if I was being generous.
It's Ric Flair.
Woo!
Amazing.
I've only been doing this shit for 2 months. I'm the best in the world. Oh, it's got to be Mike Chioda, right?
It'll probably be Earl. Doesn't he just have the highest referee rating?
But Mike Chioda was the SmackDown referee of the year.
It's Jimmy!
Oh, no, it was Jimmy that won SmackDown Awards. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's Jimmy. What I was thinking of.
Holy shit.
There you go. He's only won it twice. He's won it twice as well. He's the back-to-back.
So I have horrible news, children. The Big Show is gone.
Oh, no.
He's gone. So
there's better news.
Guy, but that's good news. So this is also sad news.
Forgotten?
You should get Mick back to stand around backstage and like...
Well, he could do a comms thing. I've been thinking about Mick on comms for a bit.
Oh, shit. He'd be really good at it.
Yeah, once we fixed him.
Once we made it accurate, yes.
Yeah. Or, authority figure. We never did that Mick Foley GM run.
True. That's an idea.
Yeah. Either way, there's no fight to cite him or anything.
Rest of this is nothing. What do we got here? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's also this guy going on.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Huh.
We won the national battle again.
That's against New Japan, right? That's not against TNA.
No, that's against TNA.
Oh, okay.
What the hell is this?
Don't know. First Refusal, probably.
Probably. You're right. It is. It's the
I recognize that name.
It's the one girl. She was ECW GM
Tiffany.
and then wrestled in TNA a lot.
She has 88 sex appeal. Seems like she's an interviewer.
Yes, likely.
Get her in.
Sign her up.
Is it still the case that you can give these people $0 per show on paper appearance deals.
I don't know.
Oh no, it's the guaranteed downside is 0. So we can give her $20 per show and 0 downside.
And then just not use her.
Well, yeah, we will eventually. Even if we were using her, it's $20 per show. We should do the appearance deal, right?
I guess we could.
It's significantly cheaper than the other deal.
Seems kind of fucked up though to pass that on to the workers.
It'll be like a part-time deal. She can do like photo shoots and stuff on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many years?
See if she accepts it. One year. Let's not lock her in for 10 years on this deal.
Main roster or
like
FCW?
FCW for now. They need interviewers too.
What are you talking about? Oh. Wait. Damn, she straight up was like, no, that's not enough money, bro.
Yeah. Let's give her $40 per show. That's doubling it.
No.
Let's give her a $100 downside.
Oh boy.
Let's give her a $500 downside. Let's go back down to 0 downside, $20 per show. And then just make it a regular written deal. If she somehow manages to find employment with another wrestling company, that's good for us.
Which I don't think will. Oh, it might happen, actually. Yeah. There we go.
Yep. Based $20 per show in WWE.
All right. We made it to 08.
Oh shit, it is. It's 2008. That's crazy.
So what the hell do we want to talk about?
Well, first I want to check that Power 500.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
What a top 10.
Oh my god. I can't find him. I can't find them anywhere. It's Randy Orton, I think. Go to search, and then we can search WWE guys.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't count.
That's funny as fuck. It's Bradshaw.
It's Randy Orton, then Shawn, then Chavo, then Ray, then Triple H, then Edge. What? Let's go through these guys. Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
The first 2 matches of the year and the last match of the year.
Edge's high-end stuff is fucking nuts.
Yeah. Let's go Orton. Let's go through all of the match lists for our guys. The Shawn stuff is Orton's highlight, as well as the Rated RKO stuff. Also, Hardy Boys Rated RKO is pretty lit. Didn't wrestle a lot. Well, no, he wrestled quite a decent amount towards the end of the year.
Yeah, especially September there.
Yeah. Sean's got a very short list, but it's kind of fire. Holy.
It's nuts. Chavo. Yep.
Chavo's is crazy, man. Is a Ray 99 in there? A Roddy 90? I didn't remember that Roddy 99. Holy.
The Sabu 99.
That's crazy as well. What? Yeah, I mean, the people that he got those 99s with is crazy, except for Ray. That's fairly expected. But yeah,
Ray time. It's just Ray and Chavo every time.
I don't remember that Ray Chavo Iron Man match. I guess we've done that twice this year.
Yeah, I guess so. Was that probably to determine the number 1 contender of the Cruiserweight belt?
That makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking, because they went to a draw here, and then...
Yeah.
Triple H. There's a drop in quality. His best match is okay. Obviously the DX stuff, the one with Orton,
Yeah.
and then a match with Charlie Haas.
Based.
Pretty based, yeah.
Machine Edge.
Yeah.
Shelton's an interesting one. Shelton's had a bit of a quiet year, I think.
Yeah. Big Show, Mark Henry.
A Big Show 98 False Count Anywhere goes hard.
Him against Sir Finley for a 92.
MVP in their best of 7 series.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit, that best of 7 series is kind of heat though.
Yeah. Cool. Roddy.
That's an impressive finish from Roddy.
Yeah, the Chavo 99. And like 94s in tags and 92 against
more
Ray,
tags.
93 against Chavo.
Who's 99 against Chavo, right? Or did you already say that?
Yeah, I mentioned that there right off the top. Big Paul London guy.
Surprised London is 2 places higher, or 4 places higher even than Brian Kendrick.
Does have this 88 singles here. Their individual fights there went really well. Then obviously the tag highlight stuff.
How did Kevin Nash make it onto this list at 166?
That's an excellent question, Shelton.
I don't think we need to go through the rest of that. We're not going through every single one.
We could have. Let's check out Nat Hart down here. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. She's lower than these women. What the fuck?
Well, she has less chance on Raw. A lot of Nat stuff. Also 10 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. A lot of that stuff this year has been in angles.
Who the hell's this guy?
Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Okay, most of it's TNA. Fair enough. Anybody else interesting on there? Maybe just look at Trish. We already showed Trish. Ooh.
Yeah, where the hell's Trish on there? There she is.
251.
Yo, JTG's above Shark.
Poor Shark, man. What's Shark's year looking like? It's been all right. He's done okay this year. Be some big gaps. I mean, are there some big gaps? He basically doesn't wrestle for all of Mania season, which is to be expected. April to June is a fairly big gap. And then otherwise he's basically just wrestling once a year. Once a month. Okay. Do you want to get to my yearly questions?
Let's do it.
All right. I don't know if these are the same questions. I just wrote some new questions.
Ooh, independent wrestling from Vermont.
Oh shit, is AJ Styles secretly on that card?
No, Ashley Massaro is though.
Nice. Okay, on Raw, what was the best story we told this year?
Fuck. All right, I should have thought more about this before we came into this. What is the best thing we did on Raw this year?
There's a lot of stories on Raw this year, in air quotes.
Yeah.
A lot of cinema going on Raw this year. Also, a lot of just aimless shit, though.
Yeah.
And I mean that affectionately.
Yeah.
To some degree.
I think
a lot of just, Raw, this was the year I think genuinely Raw became the B show.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
For sure. It might be. I mean, obviously the Vince stuff comes to mind.
Yeah, go on, talk me through that, because I'm conflicted on the Vince stuff.
It was a little messy for sure, but it was very important to get done. I think
you kind of got lucky that we finished it when we did.
Yeah, yep, super lucky.
I think it would have been very different otherwise, right?
If we were we're still fucking using him now or something. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if we were trying to finish that story in the middle of that.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Which I guess, I mean, brings up an interesting point of doing this and having our booking decided by like something happening 20 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Difficult to work through.
The best in ring stuff I think the best in ring stuff has been the New Breed tags. Their whole rampage and run here. I think Orton and Cena and the stuff that transpired around that is probably, I guess, the strongest stuff overall. And I think that's just because it was so simple. Like, it was just like, it's these two guys. They are the best.
Yep.
They are fighting.
In retrospect, how do you think the Mark Henry Mania spot worked out?
I think it was pretty good. I remember the match itself being all right. I don't regret it by any means. I don't think somebody else should have been in that spot.
I can't think of any. Unless we just went for the real life one where Triple H was at 22 and then Shawn at 23.
Right, yeah. Yeah. I think the Mark one was fine. Like, I would probably struggle to remember it a little bit if not just prompted, but
yeah. It's one of those things where I feel like Mark didn't do anything afterwards. And that's the real flaw with it.
Yeah.
We never kind of got a grip of a post-Mania Mark feud we were really into.
I was going to say, there's really nobody for him left to fight. Unless... Yeah, like, I feel like we did Triple H at one point, didn't we? Because that seems easy.
I don't think we did, actually.
Okay, well, there we go. There's 08 content.
Well, probably not. But
fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I probably agree with you there on that.
But that we that didn't really. What do you agree with? I don't really know what I was saying.
It didn't really turn into anything afterwards for Henry. He didn't really get a ton out of it. He kind of just got beat, and then...
Well, it helped the Cena feud, right? Because Cena was carrying lingering injuries from that for the rest of the year.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess if Mark left, Cena was something, but Cena didn't really give Mark a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, Mark will always have WrestleMania title match, right? But that could have turned into something a little bit more lasting, I think, if we just anywhere into, because it feels like, maybe this is just the way my brain is working, but it feels like Mark Henry's been doing vignettes and open challenges ever since, and never really had any sort of good feud. Even though, like, we did some like simple stuff where, like, I think he feuded with the Hardys, I think he feuded with DMLS a couple times, and it was like, it was okay, it was well structured, but none of it was ever like, oh man, we've got a really cool Mark Henry feud here.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
Not even to the level of the Umaga feud from the previous year.
Yeah, no, the Umaga stuff was great.
So what's your answer to the question
then? It's probably the Cena Orton stuff. Yeah, it's the Cena Orton stuff, and then the stuff playing into that, the Cena injury stuff, Orton going kind of... I don't know, Orton hasn't gone crazy. He's just kind of very violent this year.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I think Orton's character development was previous years for me. And a lot of this year's just been like, this is him now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I think it's just been really obvious this year that he's like dangerous and a threat.
Yeah.
A threat to everybody. Like,
I think I agree. I think I agree. Like the Cena stuff, that whole first 8 months of the year was like the Cena. Why, he's everyone else realizes he's hurt before he does kind of story, and building to that Orton match. One of the best title reigns of all time coming to an end. That's probably my favorite stuff on Raw this year as well.
yeah.
Okay, what worker on Raw do you think we did the best work with? Which worker did we basically book? Yeah, which worker did we improve through our booking the most?
Mr. Kennedy.
Yep.
Melina.
Maybe. Yeah, definitely. Although, would you argue for both of Melina especially that it was less of our doing and more of theirs?
I don't know what you're talking about, man. We engineered that entirely. That was that was a plan. I also think who was my last name here? I don't remember. Whatever then. That's fine.
I mean, Cena deserves somewhat of a shout, I think, even though it wasn't that much different.
Yeah, could do Cena. I guess like Lashley popped off in terms of pop and stuff like that finally this year.
This was a good year for Lashley. I agree. I think not quite on the edge of being like really good though. I think it's another thing with Mark where we like created something but we never converted it.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah.
Any other I guess Melina would be the women's shout, right? It'd have to be. I don't think anyone else really got elevated this year.
Yeah, no, I would probably agree with that.
Another shout for the best story this year, I feel like, is Melina Triple H.
Actually, yeah, genuinely. Yeah, that might be it. Elijah also probably deserves a shout. I think.
Yeah. How do you think? Like looking back, because I think the Elijah stuff was messy at times. So what do you like retrospectively? How do you see it?
Oh, I think it was like totally fine. Like,
okay,
I don't know. Maybe it was messy, but it's like a raw mid card thing. I think it's like kind of how it is sometimes. Kind of just how it be. What are
the Mania feuds? There's like Cena, Henry. Wasn't it Hardy's Rated RKO?
Yep.
No. Was it? What was DX doing at WrestleMania?
That's a good question.
They were in Money in the Bank.
Tribe was in Money in the Bank. Sean was fighting.
Sean fight Ray? No.
Nope.
Who was Sean fighting? Flair, the retirement match.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
That's an interesting one. Neither of us talked about that. We did do that this year.
We did do that.
Yeah. I don't know how you feel about that.
It's hard to remember. I remember Rick like only fought like 2 guys during the
we kept not having room for it.
Yeah, which is okay. It just obviously means it hits a little less.
Okay.
Just in terms of the angle of like, oh man, he's gonna fight the whole way. He'll never retire. He's gonna find a way to beat everybody.
He beat Will Henry.
That's true. That's true.
That is factual.
That is true.
That was one of the matches.
Also, I think you could actually make a case for Triple H.
In terms of us improving them through our booking this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. How good has this Triple H thing landed for you?
Oh, it's fantastic. I was hesitant the whole way you were pitching it, and I was like, this is weird. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if we're gonna be able to like put this together in like a really nice fashion. And then Melina kind of popped off, and it was like, shit, this is going to work. And it's been fucking great. Like, I think week to week, it's probably the shit people tuning in to see on Raw. Like
on Raw, I think you're probably right. Yeah, it's definitely been Raw's hottest feud since SummerSlam for me.
Yeah,
which is why it's so difficult, because it's hard to get to a conclusion, because we can't just do Melina versus Triple H. But I think this triple threat mixed tag at SNME this weekend is probably going to be the big blow off of that feud
for a while. Yeah,
yeah. And we can turn that into a long bloody smoke and mirrors main event.
Hell
even though it's not going to main event.
Triple H.
Okay, so who is your answer to that question then? Who do you think we've improved the most with our booking this year?
Fuck. All right, I think the overall number one is Melina.
Okay. We didn't talk much about Kennedy.
It's true.
You brought him up. But you didn't talk much about him. How do you feel like Kennedy's gone this year? Because obviously, we're doing a lot of stuff that is obvious to people. Like, none of this is a surprise.
Yeah.
But it's still not what they did.
Yeah, I think Kennedy is still shocking. You know what I mean? I'm still always stunned that he is as competent, I guess, as he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I always just feel like I underrate Kennedy, and then he does real good, and I'm like, oh, fair enough.
Trying to take a look at these matches this year. Obviously, that tag. Oh, the SmackDown faces versus the SmackDown heels.
Yeah,
does well. Taker match, really good. Kennedy is part of the babyface team against the New Breed there in that banger. Yeah. The Randy Orton matches did really well. God damn, he's won a lot of matches this year, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a really good year for him.
Yeah. I think it's probably between Kennedy and Triple H, or Melina, I guess. Yeah, Melina's a good shout.
Yeah, I'd probably just stand on Melina.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think the Kennedy stuff has been a home run, so I'll probably just take Triple H, and we can pretty much be saying the same thing, I think. Yeah. Cool. Which is crazy, because obviously we have a very complicated relationship with Triple H in this series.
Insanely complicated.
His best year, probably? I don't know. He's had a lot of really good years.
Yeah.
The SmackDown year was kind of sick.
Try's been fun the whole way, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
I think the only year he wasn't fun was probably part of 06. Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of 06, just kind of vibing out into all right, I guess we're doing the tag thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one then, kind of similar. Don't know how long we'll spend on this, but it's a bit of a different angle. Which worker on Raw did you enjoy booking the most?
That might be my Triple H answer.
I think I'm going for Triple H for that as well.
Yeah, it's kind of base to just bury all your coworkers and take the credit for yourself. That's a real man.
But also that element of he can go out there and chew scenery for a very long time. He can have a banger match with anyone.
Yeah.
He's been freed from that main event spot, so there's a lot less, I think, on him. I really like the interaction he did with Kennedy. There's just a lot of interesting angles we can take with Triple H, and it's been a bit of a fresher year for him, and he's very, very good.
Yeah.
What do you think the best Raw show was? This can be a TV. This can be a SNME that was Raw focused.
Let me do this really quick.
Can be a Big Four pay-per-view that you thought was Raw focused. So I guess SummerSlam is a argument.
Yeah, 2008. What was this one Raw in May? Oh, I can't. Oh, okay. I can't click on it.
Oh shit, that's some huge
Hardy's
functionality.
DX for the World Tag Belts. Jesus.
Just a heads up to Twitch chat. I'm not going to directly respond because we're recording a video right now, but once we get off, I'll catch up.
That's hard. I don't know. I don't remember many individual Raws.
There's one Raw that I remember.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, there's the one. Yeah.
Hardy's went kind of crazy on Raw this year, huh? Isn't both of the top two Raws Hardy's main events?
Yeah. Quietly very based year for the Hardys.
I kind of forgot they were World Tag Team Champs, though.
I did as well. I didn't know that happened at all this year. Well, they held it from March to June? Jesus, what the fuck?
I remember them losing it to the New Breed. That was a Vince thing.
I feel like that, yeah, to me it was like that was any team, dude.
That's fair. It's been a hell of a year for those belts. That's a great 4 teams.
Yeah, really. Really crazy awesome. And then Eminem literally just before it as well.
Yep. Hey, DMLS before that.
Hell yeah. Kane and Big Show before that.
Not sure about that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I would probably end up saying it is the McMahon Death Raw because I know I contributed quite a bit to that one. I remember it a lot, so I'll say that one.
What about? Can I have a look at Bad Blood? That's a pretty good show. That's a pretty good show. There's a lot on there that's important. Roderick Strong wins the Cruiserweight title. There's a cool tag match on there. Chavo Kennedy in a... that's for the Money in the Bank. That's for the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yep.
Chavo defending it, which is really important to the year.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Edge Orton. I guess maybe can I see SummerSlam? How much of SummerSlam is a Raw show? Because SummerSlam was a really good show, and I know Raw main evented it. It's towards the bottom there.
There it is.
That's a lot of SmackDown. That's a fun little tag.
There's like 3 Raw matches.
They're all big, though.
I guess this
the opening match is Raw too, yeah. No, I think I'm leaning towards Bad Blood. I think Bad Blood was
yeah, that's a good call.
Was a good show. Or yeah, probably Bad Blood. Okay, what worker didn't we do very well with? So what worker had a bad year because of us? Who did we fumble?
Nobody. We're the best.
Crime Time comes to mind. I know that's not a lot of fumbled potential, but I feel like we did fucking nothing with them this year.
Prime Time comes to mind.
And you were quite excited about booking them at some point.
There was a point, yeah. And then I was quickly like, oh, well, they're not that good. I'm like, oh, well, actually. But, yeah, no, I think Prime Time's a good shout. I think...
Stacy, maybe. I don't know.
You know
I feel
what?
like it's not our fault.
You know what? You want my take there? Johnny Nitro.
Yeah, Johnny's a good point.
This guy would be a fucking star, if not weighed down by the other schmucks.
But it's a revolving door of schmucks, though. At some point, he's got to make one of the schmuck groups work.
Fair play, maybe.
I agree with what you're saying, though. He's been ready to be something else for a long time. We've just sort of been trying to do this M&M run, which I
For
still think
fucking
was
years.
for years, which I still think was worth doing. And I think this version of M&M that we've got now is the best version of M&M we've had.
It's so fucking based.
But I do think, like, we spent about 2 months doing this messing with monsters thing, which isn't very good. When we need to instead find some sort of feud for them.
I think Mark Henry's worth a mention on there.
Yeah, I agree.
And probably also Bobby Lashley.
I disagree with Bobby.
Okay.
Let's talk about Bobby before we talk about Mark. Bobby's had a really good year. I think Bobby's always been positioned in a really strong place. Short of winning the title, I don't think there's anything more we could have done for him. Like, he had a big Mania match, like a huge Mania match that was like a lot of build was spent on. Then he was in the title picture for ages. He was like positioned basically as better than Shelton Benjamin in the summer, which is a huge like nod. At least I'm pretty. Yeah, Bobby Lashley defeats Shelton Benjamin. Yeah, it was Bobby that came out on the other end of that feud. So, he's been against the New Breed all year. He's always had something to do. Especially let's compare him to Mark Henry. He's always had something to do that's been fun, interesting. Even the R-Truth feud, which is probably his quietest moment, was a lot more interesting than some of the shit Mark Henry was doing this year. So I do think I get where you're coming from, Bobby, because he ended the year a little quieter, but he's had I think we've booked him really strongly this year.
Yeah, fair play on that.
With Mark, I do agree with you. My question would be, was he not booked really well for 3 months of the year? Like, he was like the guy for the first 3 months of the year and had a WrestleMania title match. Like, I feel like does that not mitigate the fact that, for a large portion of the year, he's been sort of aimless.
It's a good shout. I think.
Go on.
I got two more probably.
Let's hear him.
Regal.
Oh, okay. Go on. Who's your other one before we talk about Regal?
Tommy Dreamer.
I told you fair. I mean, my only defense with Dreamer is who gives a shit.
Literally, it is who gives a shit, and then occasionally he shows out, and we're like, oh, maybe this guy would be okay. Who knows? With
Regal, I think I disagree. I think Regal's had a hell of a year. Which portion of the year would you have wanted to have booked him more interestingly?
That's tough, because I wasn't thinking interestingly. I was just thinking strongly.
Sure. Which part of the year would you have wanted to book him stronger?
Should have beaten John Cena.
He's a part of the Cena story. Cena sells Regal's
you're right,
match for months.
Yep. Good shout there.
I think he's been a great addition to DMLS. I think we found a way out of DMLS now in these last few weeks that's been really good. He's about to have a really big match on Raw.
He's poised to win King of the Ring this year.
There is no King of the Ring this year.
No, there is an OA.
Yeah, but we do it every 4 years.
I see. I gotcha. Yeah. Oh shit! Well, every 4 years, I may end up pitching another idea that I had, and it is a tournament.
2010.
Yeah, it is a tournament. Oh, not for 2010.
For 2008.
Yeah.
Well, we've potentially got this women's world martial arts tournament in these next couple months that we did have pitched. We may or may not decide to do. You don't remember this pitch, do you?
I don't. Not really. Nope.
It's Nat and Candice settling their differences via a tournament.
Oh yeah. Okay, right. Yes, I remember that because it was good. It was really good.
I mean, I'm fine to not do it because I do have other ideas, but we could still end up doing that. But I'll hear any pitch for tournaments. Although, I'm not sure what tournaments we'd be looking at in 2008 that I want to do. But we can talk about it.
Like a mostly pointless one, but it'd be kind of based. So,
well, I love mostly pointless but kind of based tournaments. I mean, were you having talked through it? Do you still think the same thing about Regal, or were you mostly just forgetting some of the important stuff?
I do feel like Regal's a guy who could be doing more.
I don't know. I feel like we gave him the opportunity to do more, and he never. Like, I think he didn't like pop off really hard, and he's done a lot in the role that he's been in. Like, he's enhanced the MLS a lot. He's enhanced New Breed a lot. I think he's just he is. I think I understand where you're coming from in terms of like maybe he could have been a world champion, but we talked about that in the year before the year started, and we decided that he wasn't that guy. And short of that, I feel like there's not much more he could have done this year. He's been, involved in like the third most important story on Raw for the entire year. He fought for the title. He was a really important part of Cena's story at the start of the year. I just don't necessarily see how much stronger he could have been booked this year, other than winning the title off of Orton, which was a pitch that we rejected.
I don't know how many guys here will have this stat, but fought for the WWE title, the IC title, and the World Tags in the same calendar year.
Shit, yeah, that is true. I can't think of too many more.
Yeah, I just noticed that and was like, shit, that's crazy.
Lost them all though.
Yeah, he's a big loser. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I feel you there though, and Regal. He wasn't going to be the guy I was saying anyways. I think I'm definitely saying Nitro.
I get where you're coming from on Nitro, but I still don't think we made any mistakes with him. I still think it was a case of like aside from maybe these last 2 months where Eminem has been together, but had a chance to be a bit more directionful, and we've instead decided to do some filler with them. But I think even then, the reason why we decided to do filler with them is because nobody else is available. So when the tag division opens up a little bit in the next couple of months, then there might be a spot for Eminem to insert themselves into that, and that'll make a lot more sense. I get where you're coming from with Nitro in that, in theory, he could have been bigger, sure. But let's separate him off from Eminem on Raw. There's no way he stands out in that contenders pool. Mark, Shelton, Bobby Lashley, like there's just no way he's not as good as those guys this year.
Even Jeff Hardy, to be fair, right? Like,
sure, yeah. So I think the Eminem's, like I said, I think we're in the best spot we've ever been with Eminem. I think he's been really unlucky with some of the external factors. Admittedly, it's ironic that Melina had the breakout first. But that aside, I still, what look back at 2007, you started 2007. Is there really a better path for Johnny Nitro this year?
That's a good shout, because very quickly we knew Mercury was done. Had to bring in Masters. Then Masters got hurt or something for a second, didn't he?
I think we just popped him, and he wasn't clean yet.
Yeah, and then
so we weren't necessarily sure. Yeah,
we threw in the Nitro stuff, and then months later here we get back around to it. Yeah, it's fair.
I mean, the only thing I can think of. Yeah, the baby faces. Oh, yeah. The only thing I can think of is that we do split him off. We just dissolve Eminem, which I think was the original idea. Then we send Masters to the Wolves, which is a cost we're probably willing to take. We don't bring up Mizanin so early, which is a cost we're willing to take. But then it's Nitro can feud with Jeff Hardy in the summer, and then we say Elijah Burke doesn't have his title reign, right? Maybe something like that, and then Nitro has an IC title reign at some point this year, and then loses to Triple H.
Yeah.
Is that better? Maybe, but there's a chance that he's just done at this point. We tried him. He's done. Rather than now, where at least he has a vehicle to enter 2008 with.
Yeah, and we always have, in theory, the ability to still try him at some point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So who was I going to pitch for this? I think even though I put up the argument to mitigate, I think Mark Henry's probably a really good shout.
Yeah, fair play.
I think we had such an opportunity with him to solidify him as like the guy for that role. And we've lost a lot of bigger guys over the last couple of years. And so having this destroyer, 36 years old, main eventer star could have probably been really useful if we had found someone to have this massive summer blockbuster with. It's difficult because I can't actually, even with hindsight, think of anyone who he could have had that feud with.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know.
Maybe Shelton Benjamin. I know we did that, but making it like a bigger deal maybe could have been a thing. But yeah, I do think there was an opportunity for Mark to become like a superstar this year, and I think we missed out on it. Any other comments on that?
No, I think that's good.
Which worker underperformed / disappointed the most? So which one did we give good opportunities to, but they just didn't take them?
Carlito.
I've got two. Yeah, okay. Carlito and Stacy Keibler are my first two, for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I would just agree with either of those, yeah.
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 We really pushed Carlito.
Yeah.
And easy. I know most of it wasn't this year, but like the biggest one was this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was such an asshole. Stacy also, I feel kind of bad for her because I don't think she was actually that bad, but very much was overshadowed by her feud mate in that story in the end, which happens. But yeah, it must be a bit disappointing to be put in that position and then have it yoinked away from you.
Yeah,
she's still pretty fucking over.
She's still pretty fucking awful.
God, I didn't realize how bad she was. Maybe there's another chance for Stacy Keibler.
Maybe.
Gimmick reset. Get her back in the right mind. Headspace.
Or we could let her go.
I mean, her entertainment skills are still good. She's pretty over.
She's pretty.
She's very pretty. She could be. She could get a gimmick reset. I think we could possibly give her another go because, like I said, unlike Carlito, she is actually like I don't feel like she did anything wrong.
No, yeah.
She just wasn't very good.
Yep.
Anybody else we can?
Oh, test. Right. Okay.
Anybody else that we gave a lot of opportunities to this year but didn't really perform on Raw?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm not thinking of anyone too much either. Maybe you won't agree with this. Maybe R-Truth. I feel like he maybe could have done a little better with some of the early stuff.
That, but sure, yep.
Yeah. I mean, how good was the Mania match?
Who'd he fight?
Bobby Lashley.
82.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that could have been better.
I don't know if that's on Ron though.
I don't know. Triple H should have gotten a blue number. Is all I'm saying.
That's true. Most people are not Triple H.
No, but like I don't know. I thought I consider Ron to be quite. I considered him to be like better, good enough to be able to pull something special out in that situation. And there were a couple of like specific times where he got like feature matches, and I just never felt like he. And it was the same in the cruiserweight division, to be fair. And I think you might agree with this. He just never impressed at all in the cruiserweight division. Like I was expecting him to be like a proper, exciting ring general type worker, and he just never was.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think Carlito's the answer.
Yeah, big agree.
What was the worst Raw show of the year? So, like, what show are you most unhappy with?
I don't know.
Rumble. What was Rumble like this year? I don't actually remember Rumble very much.
That was the Cena Carlito restart stuff, and then the Taker Rumble.
Yeah, it was fine. What was New Year's Rev like? That was the Umaga match, right?
Yes.
That was a good show. I remember that actually. That's Renee winning back the IC belt after losing it a few weeks prior.
It's also Melina's title win.
Yep.
God, 07 has been such a crazy year. Chris Jericho versus Elix Skipper gets an 87. Or no, sorry, gets a 75. My bad. My bad.
The DX interview got the 87.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I thought was bad. Nothing was bad, actually. We're good all the time. 24/7.
I'm trying to think of a Raw. I feel like it's usually the SmackDowns that we got really aggro about from time to time. I feel like the Raws were always just kind of
we just don't really care about Raw's quality. It's like, yeah, all right, whatever. That's fine. We move on.
But at the same time, it was never like hard. Like it wasn't. It just happened. Raw just happened this year. Not in like the way that SmackDown used to just happen, but more in just like a. Yeah, something comes together in the end for Raw.
Yep.
I think more often than not works. Yeah, I can't think of any bad shows in particular for Raw.
Yeah.
So I guess the last question kind of like feeds off that and just open-ended. Do you have anything you'd classify as your like biggest regret for Raw this year? I think it was still the right call to get the guys off TV that we did, I still think there was probably some better way of doing it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go as well. It probably could have been tighter. It probably could have been, yeah. It probably could have been a little tighter. It probably could have been a little more focused, I guess.
We probably could be better at using the shit tons of guys we have on the roster.
Yeah. Yeah, fair play.
Because I think we had a period this summer where it was very much like the summer of 04 or 05, where I think it was 04, where it's like we have Batista, Guerrero, Benoit, and Orton. And it was the same this year, kind of, where we had Henry, Shelton, Lashley, and Orton. And I feel like we didn't do a great job of mining that contenders pile.
Right.
For I feel like there was a point where we had this fatal four-way and we were like talking to each other like, oh, this guy would be interesting and this guy would be interesting and this guy would be interesting. But we just ended up doing like one match out of that rather than just like doing what we probably should have and done a whole program, because it sort of all ended up getting consumed so that we could give the Kennedy stuff time to breathe. And I think the Kennedy stuff did have time to breathe and was good at times, but even the Kennedy thing, I feel like Kennedy feels like still a kind of weak champion to me.
Oh, yeah. I think he definitely is. But I think that's fine.
I would have liked like one. I think the ladder match might be it. But again, maybe it's just because it's so recent. But I would have liked one moment where it's like, okay, this guy is the champ. And it probably is the ladder match that did that. But
yeah.
It does feel like it feels. Maybe this is because I know where it's going, but it feels like a holding pattern reign. I don't know whether that would come across to like a real audience or whether it comes across to the YouTube audience. But like, I think it's because, again, it might just be because I know where it's going and I know that it is a holding pattern reign. But it's like it should be a star-making moment for him, and I don't know if it has been.
Yeah, no, like I agree with you there. Like I feel like Kennedy still has another level to go.
I don't know if he's going to reach that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. I think maybe on that respect, we could have done more with Kennedy and Triple H. I think that was a really exciting dynamic.
Right.
That was probably the best moment of the Kennedy reign for me was that opening angle on Raw where they interacted.
Really teamed up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like having a little bit more of like baby faces fighting against the 2-man power trip would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But it's too late for that now. Anything else? Any other closing comments on Raw?
Nope.
Those are the end of my questions.
I think we're good to.
I think one question I asked last couple of years actually that I've just remembered is who do you think is going to be the big breakout star next year on Raw?
That's a good question. I don't know.
It's tricky because I think usually I have less of an idea where the story is going. Whereas this year I'm pretty confident about what at least the first half of the year is going to look like. And it's a lot of pre-existing guys.
Yeah, I don't think it's any new guys.
Jeff's probably a good shout.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy is probably the shout. Yeah,
he's due a bit of a breakout, you would imagine, at some point. Whether it's on Raw or SmackDown is to be seen, but surely he will break out at some point this year.
I'd look at Jeff, or I'd look at
what about Manu?
Yep, Manu. That's the one. Thanks, buddy. There you go.
I think Manu could have. He's got everything he needs. He's got all the fundamentals. Yeah. Okay, he's lacking some of the tools, but he has some tools.
He does have some tools.
He is Samoan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Will DMLS still be here next year?
Will DMLS still be here next month? Stay tuned.
Do you think DMLS will still be around on January 1st, 2009?
I'm gonna say no.
What about the Hardys? Do you think the Hardys will still be together January 1st, 2009?
I don't think they will have turned on each other.
Okay. Is that the end of your answer? Is that all you're prepared to say?
I don't think they'll have turned on each other.
And then the last one is, do you think Eminem will still be together in a year's time?
Pieces of it.
Okay.
Two pieces together, probably.
All right. All right, should we do SmackDown?
Yeah, let's do SmackDown here.
All right. Do you want to get up like the world heavyweight title defense history?
Sure. You mind if I just grab a drink here super quick?
Sure.
Just 1 sec, YouTube audience. Puddy, entertain them.
No, I refuse. I flat out refuse to entertain you people. It's not my job. If you want to be entertained by me, go over to Matsudairo VODs. There I will care about you. But not really, because I hate the VODlets as well. Alright, hold on. Since Tugger's not here, I'm going to take a moment to catch up with Twitch chat. Someone asked if we ever released the World Heavyweight title Ruthless Aggression tier list. We never actually recorded that video. I don't know how Tucker feels about that style of content anymore. But we have not recorded. We were going to get on and record it at some point, I think. But I think I was ill. And then Tucker hasn't asked about it since. SmackDown might end up being a longer review than Raw, because I think we both feel like there's a bit more going on SmackDown, but we'll see.
God fucking damn it, Puddy.
What?
My coffee has been done wrong.
Well, maybe do it yourself, you lazy fuck.
I can't control the fine people of Tim Hortons. I don't work there.
Oh God, getting takeaway coffee. You're a disgrace.
Puddy has no clue what Canadian culture is.
I'm aware of that chain. I just don't respect it.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
how's your country doing?
I mean, our coffee brands are as bad as yours.
Oh, that's sad. Anyways, world title 07.
What I was thinking is you maybe just flick through these as we talk about SmackDown, like go to the cruiserweight belt and whatever after a little while.
Oh yeah, okay. I like that. That makes sense.
All right. What was the best story we told on SmackDown this year?
That's tough. It's either the Rey and Chavo stuff we just did,
Yep.
or it's
I'm gonna throw Batista Taker in there because it's my baby.
Yep, of course. I think that deserves love also because it's like a year-long thing and it's been integral to pretty much the whole thing, really. Like this whole year has been kind of dipping in and around that Dave and Taker feud. But for me, probably my favorite stretch of the year, and I guess I'll just fucking take this whole thing. It's probably like the ultimate run into Batista versus Shamrock.
Interesting. That's not what I thought you were gonna say. So the Shamrock stuff.
Yeah.
Go on.
I don't know, man. It was vibey as fuck. I know a lot of the in-ring stuff under-delivered, not the tournament itself, but the big payoff of Batista and Shamrock. But I think that tournament, I think the setting of the tournament, the guys we had in the tournament, the matches in the tournament, the specific matchups themselves were all fucking great.
Are you including the Shamrock Taker stuff and the title match as well?
Shamrock Taker stuff.
Because I feel like that's all part of the.
Yeah, I definitely could include that in there for sure. Ken's entire like couple month run here was just so fucking based. Felt like.
I think the tournament doesn't happen if it's not for that the context of that. For sure.
And there was. It's hard for me because I was gonna say like, well, it felt like SmackDown didn't totally have a direction for the first number of months, and it definitely did. Like it undoubtedly did. But I guess I would say the Ultimate tournament and stuff like that, I felt like opened up. It's not like we have much of one, but a lot of the mid card to that main event kind of area.
See, here's where. So I'll get involved on this because I think I told you this at the time, and I still think it. I sort of disagree because I think the tournament, instead of doing that, just stole half the cruiserweight division. And they never felt like they truly fit in that tournament for me. I would have preferred, like, if it was filled with guys like MVP and Shark and maybe Deuce, guys like that, rather than essentially being Batista and the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, but that was fun. So
it was fun. I agree. But it always, I feel like it never felt like anybody else was going to win that tournament.
Yeah, maybe that's fair. I don't know. I felt like the Kendrick run to the final was pretty good.
Wasn't Evan Bourne?
Was it Evan
the
Bourne?
finalist?
I'm
pretty sure it was
Evan
Bourne.
It was a small guy. Okay, that's all I remember. It was one of them.
Exhibit A.
They weren't going to win, Puddy, so I don't remember. What do you want from me?
What I thought you were going to say, and I know you already mentioned him in a different feud, but I think this is a different one, is Chavo Guerrero's like half of the year, right? All the way from winning Money in the Bank to cashing it in. I think it's easy to forget that the period between that was him saying he was going to cash it in at WrestleMania to get his moment back that was taken from him at WrestleMania 22. I think that was an interesting dimension. I think him fighting Kennedy over it, Kennedy, like, who had won the title, who had won it before, wanting to take it because Kennedy had his Money in the Bank briefcase taken off of him. And I think that was really interesting. I think obviously the cash in was really exciting. I love this idea that Chavo, his whole character's been about having to earn every, like, really work really hard to get opportunities, and that not working for him. So he just takes it for himself and then he wins the title. I think that's really cool. The summer feud with Dave, where through a mixture of Chavo being clever, good, and lucky, he manages to completely beat Dave in a series of matches and get him out of his title contention, only to run into Ken Shamrock, who breaks him. I think, and then afterwards, the reaction that Chavo has to that, I think that's all quite an interesting story that we told this year.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree. SmackDown has just been so fucking rock solid the whole year, really.
Can I interest you in Gregory Helms versus the Boogeyman?
Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. No, I refuse. I refuse.
Talk us through. Go on, talk us through the feud.
No, it was too good. The Hurricane got haunted by the Boogeyman, and the Boogeyman manifested himself as the Hurricane and fought Greg Helms.
Oh yeah.
And he beat Greg Helms, which made Greg Helms realize he needed to become the Hurricane again. So he became the Hurricane, and then he beat the Boogeyman, and now he's the Hurricane.
He's Hurricane Helms now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Nat Hart this year had her. I think she started the year with her hunting vampires, which I think that's an underrated. I think you were throwing subtle shade at it every week. And I think you didn't quite rate it the way I did, which I still think it was a cool idea that Nat Hart had to kill a vampire. And so she went on like a world tour fighting local mythical creatures in order to attain the skill set she needed to destroy the vampire. And then the rest of the year has pretty much been her dealing with the fact that the vampire reincarnated into a regular woman who could be good at the wrestling.
You also have to remember that Buffy is pretty much entirely before my time.
I haven't watched Buffy.
Oh, all right. Well.
It's not based on Buffy.
We were doing an angle, and they're just like, I don't really know what the fucking. Okay, never mind then. Wait, you're telling me it's not based on Buffy? I thought it was like a Buffy.
I'm sure we're trying to play into it a little bit, but like the actual, I'm not referencing Buffy at all because I wouldn't know how.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because okay. I mean, I'm pretty much in the same spot. Like where I didn't really totally know. I
know vampires, right? I know the myth. I know vampire stories.
I've never heard of those. What's that?
Yeah, exactly right.
Some kind of philosophical notion.
Because that's something I sometimes forget with you is even though you're really into the like the meta of literature, I feel like you've never read anything, you've never watched anything. So
it's very true.
You don't actually know anything except for TV tropes.
Yes, it's very true. It's very true. Yeah, I am.
You've watched a lot of films, right? It's films you've seen.
No, not even those either.
Well, you said you watched Moneyball.
I have seen Moneyball. That. Yes, that's the one movie. That's the only one that matters.
I see. I mean, I haven't watched. I was about to try and think of some classic films, but I haven't really watched films. That's the one area I'm like completely out of for the most part. Anyway, I think that was an underrated feud. Not that I'm putting it forward for this category. London and Kendrick, anything you want to talk about with them in this category?
I mean, the Miracle on awesome.
I think the Miracle on Taunt stuff is. I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with their whole year, to be honest. I know that SmackDown Tag Team hasn't been deep for a while, but yeah, I don't know. I think
this was the year they finished off the Basham brothers. I forgot about that. That's pretty huge.
Yes, yeah, they sent off the Basham brothers this year. They did the Millennium stuff for a little bit, even though that was mostly the year prior, before the tag belts. They got the Hardys match in at both No Way Out and SummerSlam there. We tried to do a little bit with the Highlanders, and then, yeah, there's the Lundrick stuff. Or, not the Lundrick stuff, sorry, the Miracle on Taunt stuff.
What about Doug Basham? Is there anything you want to talk about with Doug?
Doug has been crazy, like a crazy kind of jump. You know what I mean? Like a guy who I think we both thought was pretty all right suddenly became like one of the highlights of the program entirely. Yeah. I don't know. His US title reign, I feel like, has given the belt a lot of purpose. When I feel like that belt itself has not had a lot of purpose throughout its time.
Yeah, he very much took over what was going to be like MVP's year.
Yeah.
Which, you know, there's pros and cons, but he's been fun. Okay. Okay, so what's your answer for this category? I can't think of anything else I want to bring up for consideration in it. Yeah, I mean, Renee has his own story this year, but I don't think it's necessarily landed tremendously well.
Yeah, I think Renee's stuff has been fine. He gets hurt a little bit by not exactly knowing how to handle him initially coming over until the tag team. But I think
the tag team's done really well, though, I think.
Yeah, personally. No, I would agree entirely there. Yeah, the tag team's been super solid. Santino's coming around, which is great. Santino's, I mean, not going to be like a killer at any point probably, but he's doing pretty damn well for himself.
We didn't talk about Evan Bourne and Millennium, but I think that was actually a pretty good story.
Oh yeah, Evan Bourne Millennium was dope. I love that shit. That was especially considering it was like a second or third version of an idea that we had.
Yeah.
Right. Like. Yeah. I don't think Evan Bourne was even really supposed to be around this stuff initially, and we were just like, all right.
He wasn't even going to be on the roster, I don't think, for at least another year.
Yeah, for like 09 or so. Yeah. Yeah.
And there were other guys, you know, we actually had called up Kofi Kingston, right? And then I was like, actually, Evan's doing fine. Send him back.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was an organic one, and I think it's worked really well because I just think there are parts of Millennium that I think are a little bit like, okay, it's more flippy guys. But I think the heart of it, Evan and Kazarian, I think, have done really well this year at being people we care about.
Yeah, and I think Kaz becoming a babyface has also been pretty fun. Just in terms of, you know, adding to like the dynamics on the roster and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your answer to this category? What's been the best story we've told on SmackDown this year? Obviously, we've got quite a few contenders.
I would just say Dave Bautista and holding that belt through the end of the year.
His promise that he made. I think I will go with Chavo. I think he's my favorite guy that we've had for a couple of years now, and I think this was the year where I think we've been hesitant to lean heel with him for a good reason, but I think finally we found the moment where it made sense, and I think everything for him this year has worked, and he is arguably the best wrestler in the company. So finding a prominent position for him to be like a superstar has, I think, been really good. And I think the entire story has just been interesting. And I bring elements of like the stuff that I like to do with Chavo, with like the chip on his shoulder and the, you know, opportunities thing. And you bring elements with Chavo with the like family relationship thing that you're more interested in. And I think it all sort of works for the character, and I think he's been the most interesting character on SmackDown this year.
Yeah, he's been a lot of fun, and it's the same kind of fun that I had with Eddie many moons ago. At this point, something about paranoid, disturbed Hispanic dudes. I don't know.
That's why you're like super crazy. All right, on to our next question. Which worker did we do the best with this year? So which worker did we enhance the most via our booking? Let me throw Santino Marella into the mix immediately.
Yep, Santino's in there, definitely, like 1,000%. Doug, for sure, whose entire run doesn't exist.
Doug, I'm going to credit Doug with his run. This is similar to Melina on the other brand. I think it's less about what we did with Doug and more about what Doug did. I think Doug was pretty great this year on his own back. I had something. Who was it? Oh, Roddy Strong.
Yeah, I think
I'm backing Roddy 100%.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go with him as well.
Yeah, I think he is someone who, look, he's done okay in his role, but like we very much crafted a position for him. And sometimes I think we're a little, so maybe this is just a me issue. Sometimes I think it's a little close to Greg. And I do worry about that, but I do think it's got enough different about it that it's not too bad. But I do sometimes wonder if we've just like basically slotted Roddy into the Greg role. But either way, I think this year it's been really successful.
Yeah, I hear that. Good to know.
Anybody else you can think of? I mean, Evan Bourne, I feel like we've done really well with, but he's mostly
Evan.
Done it on his own back. Dave, I feel like we've handled well. I'm happy with how we did with Dave.
Yeah, Dave's had a great year. Shark.
Maybe.
Kevin Nash, actually, because we stopped him wrestling.
Kevin Nash has had a fantastic year, and a lot of it is down to the booking. I do like the Kevin Nash shout. Nat Hart. I think Nat Hart is arguably one of the hardest people to book this year, and I think look. You tell me. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. How do you think Nat Hart's year's gone?
I think it's been pretty great, honestly. We went from like, oh man, we're doing like a weird SmackDown women's division to like, yeah, no, the SmackDown's women's division has like a purpose.
Yeah. Cool. All right, who's your call for this category then? Who have we enhanced the most with our booking?
I
think my pick's Roddy for this year.
You know what? Give me Santino then.
Okay.
Give me Santino because I was the first guy to say serious Milan Miracle. Huh?
I really like that tag team for sure.
I think I said fiery, actually. I think that was the word I said.
Yep.
Fiery babyface.
Who have you enjoyed booking the most on SmackDown this year? I'm taking Doug Basham on this, and there's no other contenders for me.
I would either say Chavo or Finlay.
Finlay? Really?
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with Finlay in the last couple months. Him and his son? Question mark?
Okay, cool. What do you think the best SmackDown show was? This one I think is harder. Because if we look at most of the SNMEs, they're really like you're probably going to go for the tournament show, given what you said earlier.
I was actually.
So you want to talk us through that?
I was actually going to maybe argue for Undisputed.
Okay, go on.
It's the awesome fucking Chavo Roddy match. A lot of this is Raw, actually. Fuck me. Never mind. Maybe it is the tournament show. I would say Undisputed just for the main. Yeah, the tournament was great. I thought this show also had Chavo as the double champ losing to somebody, but I don't know where that happens then. But
that's SummerSlam.
Is that SummerSlam? Oh, did it open or something?
Yeah, it's towards the start.
There we go. Yeah, I see. Okay, right. Yeah, I guess I'd probably just say the tournament show then.
Talk us through that. Why was this? You said it was great. Why?
I think to me the matchups that we got, because we don't do a ton of cruiserweight, heavyweight overlap a ton unless you're like a certain number of guys in it. So like I think the Kendrick Batista match is awesome. We also got the Kendrick London match on there, which was a mini thing for a while.
That's my favorite part of the tournament, is those two.
Batista MVP is a good match. Evan Chavo is dope. Why'd that do so poorly? Legitimately, why'd that only do an 84? This I think would be fucking awesome. It's like Roddy in there doing a Batista match against a less talented Batista, which I think is cool.
Harsh on Sean, but sure.
Sure, but yeah. Evan Roddy also. Evan gets a non
his win back.
Title, win. And then the main event was dope as well. I think Dave's entire run through that tournament, like not taking too much time on those things. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. That was a good story. Yeah.
He kept things nice and quick and brief, which I thought, or I guess we thought might benefit some of the cruiserweights, but no dice. The Ultimate Tournament, man, that was the shit.
So one of my first candidates for this is SNME 1 or 2. I think SNME 2, I think it is. The Cruiserweight No Way Out. No Way Out.
I see. Yep.
Which is, it is 2. You can see there. Show number 99 is just Saturday night's main event.
Yep.
The Cruiserweight Elimination Chamber. I love this. I really, I'm one of my biggest things with this series is being, I think that they were this was a period where they started fumbling some of their big stips, and it's why they ended up going with the stupid stip pay-per-views not too long afterwards, because they started like realizing that they're like super easy ways to sell a show is like, fuck it, throw a stip on there. And so they ended up like saying, oh, this is just now the Elimination Chamber show. And I don't like that. And so reimagining what we use these stips for was a big deal. So like we hadn't done Elimination Chamber since I think New Year's Rev last year.
Yeah.
And doing it for the Cruiserweight title, like also this is obviously like a replacement for the Extreme Elimination Chamber or whatever it was, the Hardcore Elimination Chamber that they did in December of 2006 real life. So I think this was really unique, and I also gave us an in to have Sabu win because it's obviously a completely different environment, and that just led to the Sabu Cruiserweight title reign, which I immediately had the idea for as soon as Sabu started performing really well on Raw. I remember like saying to you like, oh, don't worry, I've got stuff for Sabu after the Raw stuff is over. And this was it. And I was so ready for this. And I enjoyed Sabu a lot this year. Which is, I think, strange because people, I think, if they were watching the second half of the year, would think that I didn't. Because every time it's like, oh, let's use Sabu, and I'm like, no, we
fucking
can't.
And
it's just because we brought the run to an end in such a way that I'm happy to be done with him. But I really, really enjoyed the run, and it starts here. And the rest of the show is great too. You got Lundrick versus the Hardys, MVP Shelton in their best of 7 series, Booker T Boogeyman. Like, this is a SmackDown SNME. This was back at the very start. We were sort of like, it's branded with maybe one match from the other show where we've switched more to like more of a combination thing, which I think is good and fine. But this was very much like a SmackDown SNME in MSG with a really great main event that like proof of concept shows what these shows are about in a really, really big way. I think Undisputed and Ultimate are both also good examples of what SNME is supposed to be. But this was like the first one, and I think one of the more successful variants. Also, if I can be cheeky, SmackDown Show of the Year, WrestleMania 23. Main event with SmackDown. It was a huge SmackDown show. So much stuff on that card relies on it. Chavo winning Money in the Bank was a SmackDown match. Ray versus Sabu, Undertaker versus Batista. I think Last Man Standing as well. I obviously love that match in real life. I think that's a really good SNME. Tribute to the Troops, Show of the Year, main event by a SmackDown match and co-main evented by a Cruiserweight title match. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna go with No Way Out, but there's a lot of options for this one.
Fair play.
I also really like the last two shows we did on SmackDown.
Yeah.
The Wrestler of the Year stuff.
Yeah, that
I
was
think those
fun.
were really well put together.
Yeah, it was real fun.
There's the Iron Man. Was the Iron Man match the first? No, the Iron Man match was the week before that even, and that also I thought was a really well put together show. I don't know, SmackDown. I mean, it's odd. So, I feel like SmackDown is like a house of cards in a lot of ways, a house of few cards. But I do think it's been the A show this year in a lot of ways. I think most of that probably does come down to Batista, but yeah, SmackDown has been so solid this year, and I think in my head, and I think I've talked to you about this, Tucker, and you agree, we're going to be making some moves in the first half of 2008 to actually start to signify that SmackDown is the A show. And I think 2007 has done a really good job of justifying that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think anyone IRL backstage in this company looking at the years would say, all the stars are on Raw, but all of the successful stories seem to be happening on SmackDown.
Yep.
What worker did we not do so well with on SmackDown? What worker has more than we are giving them credit for?
MVP jumps to mind as a guy who could be higher up than he is.
He's sort of like a casualty of Doug being good, though. But I do agree still.
Could be Helms. Could be Helms.
He's one where I'd ask what else would we be doing with him?
That's fair. That's a fair shout.
Renee, some months is a call. I think I know we turned it around in the end, so I wouldn't necessarily pitch him as a candidate, but I think he's like in danger.
Yeah, I feel that.
I honestly, Deuce and Domino feel like they could have done more this year. They had a point where they were beating everybody in the main event for a while, and like if we kept doing things with them, they probably would have been a pretty over tag team, but we just sort of I think what happened is we were sort of both sick of them.
Yeah.
And so we stopped booking them for a little while, but we sort of should have just held our nose and kept doing things with them. Some of the Millennium guys maybe could have used some more fleshing out. I don't know, Kaz hasn't done much since his story ended. His story was pretty good, though. It's not like Kaz is this amazing worker ready to keep on the show or anything. It's just he has been fun.
Yeah, I would agree. Kaz hasn't been.
The women at times I think have been underused, but that's hard. It's hard to not to forget about them.
Yeah.
Finley. I think Finley's a good show for
Finley
this.
Finley could be a good show. Yeah. Finley as well.
Finley's got a lot to offer, and we have not made the best use of that over the year.
Yeah. I feel that.
Oh, back to just as a quick little retrospective shout about who we've improved the most with the booking. I'm surprised neither of us mentioned him. Ken Shamrock is all booking.
Oh yeah.
No input from Ken at all. It's all us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Can I argue Kevin Nash? I feel like Kevin Nash has a shit ton to offer, and even though we do use him a lot, he could probably be more involved.
Yeah, I feel that.
He's more of a set. We haven't told any stories with Kevin Nash yet. We've just used him as a cardboard cutout.
Yeah,
a fun cardboard cutout, a really exciting and interesting part of a cardboard cutout, but not really a guy.
Yeah, I feel that.
We want to talk about Matt Stryker and Mike Knox at all?
Yeah, they're super underrated.
Or Simon Dean.
Oh God, yeah, that stuff fell apart this year as well.
Yeah. This is I feel like SmackDown has the highest highs and the lowest lows.
Yes, it always does.
Yeah.
It always fucking does.
What about how do you feel about Idol Stevens this year? Idol's such an interesting one for me. I think we've kind of done a good job with Idol.
Yeah, I would agree as well. Idol's had a lot of up and downs, but we've kind of always found a way to keep him going. You know what I mean? To keep him forward.
Yeah. I wish I had managed to pull off the Danny Basham pitch. There was just never room for it.
Yeah, every week we came to book SmackDown, I'd be like, damn, man, we're never doing this boogeyman angle. Shit.
Yeah. I guess there is still room, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm not against the Boogeyman continuing to be a recurring character. I guess maybe the Boogeyman's an interesting one where it's like, I don't know how you feel, but for me, I'm like, oh yeah, he's an interesting recurring character. But I have a feeling the IRL live audience would be like, oh, just stop booking the Boogeyman.
Yeah, they'd be like, what the fuck is going on, man?
He's dumb. It doesn't make sense in the SmackDown. Like I feel like they would be looking like there's one writer on our team that really likes the supernatural shit. And it's
there's like one guy.
The Boogeyman, the Hurricane Helms, and the Mortis stuff. So I guess he started on Raw and he came over to SmackDown after the Mortis thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, why do we keep doing shit like this? But I mean, some of it's fun. I don't know. I've never looked at any of those supernatural angles and felt like, oh man, that was super strong. But also, it's sort of just fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard.
It's part of the identity of that company as well. They do a bunch of like fucking weird, semi-spooky, mystical things. So
yeah, I feel like we've done one really stupid supernatural angle a year.
Yeah,
and I think that's okay. But my only thing is, I look back at it and I think, well, none of that's ever that good, though.
Yeah. No. I feel you there for sure.
And none of it really leaves a lasting legacy either. That's the other thing. Like I feel like I'm really conflicted on Hurricane Helms about whether or not this is an interesting character to have been left with, or whether it's just sort of like strapped Greg or Shane with this for the end of his career now, much like the Stardust thing for Cody later.
Yeah, I feel that. Damn.
So I don't know.
SmackDown's all over the place.
Wow, yeah. I don't know, the way you said that's very funny to me. Go on, who's a worker we fucked the most this year?
It's so hard.
I think I'm down to go MVP. I think he was supposed to be having a better year than he is. And
yeah, I guess I just have to go with MVP ultimately.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Which worker underperformed or disappointed the most this year? So who did we give good spots to, but they never really took them? Maybe Simon Dean?
Simon Dean, probably. Maybe Deuce and Domino.
I don't know if they underperformed. I think they did all right.
Fair.
They're getting over. Controversial Ken Shamrock pick, maybe?
Yeah, Ken could be a good shout. Yeah, I think that's definitely up there.
But I think in our heads, we always knew what the matches were going to be. And even if the game says they're green, I think in our heads, we're like, yeah, but we'd love them.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think Hornswoggle's been very good.
Yeah, Hornswoggle sucked, man. God damn it. Yeah, I think probably him then. I'd probably go with.
Who are you going with?
Who the fuck did I say first there?
Simon Dean?
No. Who did I say first? I said somebody. I literally just
Deuce
did
and
it.
Domino?
Yeah, I think I would go with Deuce and Domino.
Have they underperformed though? I just don't know if I agree with that at all.
It's fair. But
like they've kind of nailed all those spots for where they are. Like you go look at Mr. Kennedy's first year in the company. It doesn't. I bet it doesn't even look as good as that. Hell, go look at Bobby Lashley's first year in the company. It's probably worse than that.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe.
I think they've kind of actually risen to the occasion a lot of the times.
So then it is Ken.
I'm going to say, because disappointed is in the question, right? It's underperformed / disappointed. AJ Styles.
Yeah, fair.
That's my guy. AJ, you were supposed to be the chosen one. Now I don't even know if we're going to use you.
Like you keep saying that, even though it's not true.
I still am undecided.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe he goes back down to Dev and rots. We don't need him anymore. We got Evan Bourne.
We've got Evan Bourne.
You're laughing, but I'm serious.
Yeah, I know you are.
We'll see if he's clean when he comes back.
Got Evan Bourne.
Evan Bourne's really good. What are you talking about?
He is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we just let AJ rot and Dev until the real star becomes available from New Japan.
Ah, yes, Tanahashi.
I don't think we're going to be able to. I mean, I'll ask it, but it sounds like this is not a question where either of us are really able to answer. Do you have a worst show of the year?
I don't even know. I can't even think of anything for SmackDown. Like,
there have been a couple of spicy shows where we haven't seen eye to eye, but I don't know if I'd call those out as bad shows.
Yeah, I don't think that affects the show quality.
Well, I disagree with that. Oftentimes, the reason why we're arguing is because we disagree about what's good for the show. And so what ends up happening is that we put together either some compromise or something where it's like someone said something and it's like, oh fuck it, we'll just do that. So I do think that affects the show quality. I think that's the whole point of why we're having a disagreement on that.
Yeah, I feel you.
I think we've talked about this, but I feel like we don't work through those disagreements very well. So I feel like when we're having those disagreements, we never actually solve the problem, right? So when we're having them, the resulting shows are not good because it feels like we lack a way of conflict resolution. We can very rarely actually openly discuss ideas and work through them.
Right. I think maybe I could pitch this show. Last man standing here.
But the main's good. There's an MVP Ray US title match on there.
Dog Basham and Danny Basham. Main event underperforms a little bit.
Yeah, but it was great. It was a great match. I've seen that match in real life. He spears him off the stage, man.
Okay.
Regal, Edge, Orton triple threat.
So then no, I don't have one.
All right, biggest regret on SmackDown this year.
I don't know. AJ, yeah. Alan Jones is the big
regret though.
Regret, I guess.
What do you regret about it?
Him not being clean. Okay, if it had to be something that we're directly responsible for, let's go with fuck, I don't even know, man. SmackDown's too good. It's too positive. It's all positive.
There's definitely stuff here. I think sometimes the Kennedy Vince stuff wasn't as clean as I would have liked it to be.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, the Kennedy Vince stuff could have been a little cleaner. I agree with you there. Kennedy's entire last couple months on SmackDown were a little like, damn, what the hell's going on right now?
I'm trying to think. I think there's something about that autumn period that's similar to on Raw, where I feel like the title changes weren't super clean for me. So I think the Chavo, so it's like the Chavo run into the Cruiserweight title win, into the Cruiserweight title loss, into the Shamrock loss. Like I think there are moments there where we could have done a better job at pausing and breathing and having more developed, like, oh shit, this guy's like, I think Shamrock is another example. It's like he was champ for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I feel that there. Maybe pacing and stuff like that a little bit better.
yeah. Because we ended up having a little bit of gap time at the end of the year, kind of. Similar with the like tag champs, where it's like, I feel like sometimes they were doing very little and then sometimes they were doing like a lot. And maybe we could have paced that out a little better. Doug's a guy, like, I think Doug's reign's been good, but he's hardly had any challengers, but that's just because SmackDown doesn't have any guys on it.
Yep.
To some extent.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. I think, pacing it overall this year, it's hard to put my finger on it, but I think, especially towards the back end of the year, I think maybe that's another thing. It's kind of like back to the Ray Chavo SNME argument, is that I feel like we got into the habit towards the back end of the year of just booking in the SNMEs first and then figuring out the cards later.
Yep.
I don't think that was necessarily very good.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. And it's decent to kind of get that corrected here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Who's going to be the breakout star on SmackDown next year?
Give me... Let me think here. You know what? Give me Jesse and Festus.
Ooh, okay. I could see that. I think if he comes back, it would be AJ.
Yeah, that was the one that immediately came to mind for me as well. So
I think Idol Stevens could explode a little next year. Yep. Also, actually, no, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm sure I've given this answer before, but I'm going to do it again. Yeah, I know what I'm going to give. I don't care if I've done it like the last 2 years. I'm doing it again. Renee Sebastian Dupree. This is his year. I think he's never been in a better position to do something than he is right now.
Fair play.
Overall question, and then if chat has any questions about the year, chuck them in and I'll ask Tucker or I'll answer them myself.
Yeah, I can't hang out super long, but
no, I haven't got long either. Do you think this year? My question though is, do you think this year has justified the brand split still existing?
Yes. Oh my God, there's 2 insanely different cultures going on. I'd say 2 very different wrestling cultures. Excuse me. Would
SmackDown not benefit from having some of the Raw guys, and would Raw not benefit from having less storytelling burden, though?
I think there's an argument that SmackDown could use a couple of the Raw guys, but I think the idea of adding more stuff onto Raw is just bad.
Not necessarily more stuff, but it's like the brand split wasn't there. You know, Raw wouldn't necessarily have to come up with ideas for some guys, right? They could just kind of go to SmackDown.
Right. But then they'd still just be in the same spot they were in. They're just on SmackDown now.
But then they could go and like do SmackDown mid-card things, right?
Right.
Because that's a place. I'm mostly playing devil's advocate. Not free of judgment, but also like SmackDown's mid-card is just non-existent at the moment.
Yeah, fair play there.
And we wouldn't be stuck in this place where it's like, oh, well, if we send a guy over to SmackDown, we kind of want to make it long-term, because otherwise that undermines the brand split. Whereas it could be just like, well, if you don't have anything to do on Raw, you can just go to SmackDown. I've stumped him.
Yeah, I'm just like, can I just say no? Like, no.
Can if you want.
I get what you're saying, but I also think it's stronger for us to just keep it going as it is. Like I think we're doing
Why?
good stuff here. Because it gives a lot more space for different people to, breathe and get time in and stuff like that. Like Deuce and Domino and the fucking McAllisters and fucking Jesse and Festus even here probably wouldn't have had shit to do if it wasn't for the fact that SmackDown needs things to do sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well made.
And then on Raw as well, I can point at like, well, I guess the lower card guys on Raw don't really do anything anyways. So never mind.
Yeah. Maybe that's the thing. I think we need to maybe come up with more interesting ideas for Raw's mid card. I think SmackDown has a bunch of like decent ideas, but not a lot of talent, and then Raw has like quite a lot of talent, but not a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
So I guess that's and I mean, at the end of the day as well, we got to remember that we sent like 3 big stars home on Raw.
Yep.
And still didn't find enough to do for everyone.
Yeah, so, no, and it's still like, wow, these guys are here, aren't they? Like, shit.
So hard to think what would have happened if those guys were still. I mean, 4 guys even, because RVD.
Yep.
Left.
Yep.
Hard to think what would have happened if they stuck around. Yeah. All right. I think that's all I had.
Shit. There we go. We are into 2008, folks. That's crazy. We've been doing this for too long.
I haven't been doing this for long enough.
That's true.
One on a meta side, this I think has been one of our more consistent. It has to have been our most consistent year for uploads.
I feel like it for sure. Yeah.
Like we haven't. Well, we've had mini hiatuses. We haven't had the massive like 4-month long hiatuses that I feel like we've had every other year.
The winter's coming, and we don't do shit for like 4 months.
It's we did shit all through the winter, didn't we? This year? Or
yeah,
am I crazy?
Did. We did. It's just like historically, it's the winter months where we slow down a ton.
Yeah, which is weird. I guess we're both ill and prone to depression.
Yeah.
So
I would probably say it's that. Yeah. I'm just depressed, brother. Like.
Yeah. Well, we've still got 8 months to go before the winter. Although you are like the busiest person in the world right now, so
yeah,
we can only do every now and then.
It's better right now. Like, I mean, I've got time tomorrow and on Monday there, and then it'll be time again on Wednesday and Friday. It should, for the most part. Well, I mean, definitely for the rest of the month here, I'm free Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, it's just the timing, because you refuse to wake up at a normal person's time.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Which, yeah, I'm not, with all due respect, I mean, I've had to do awful times for years, so I have no sympathy for being like, hey, can you wake up at 10 o'clock?
It's too early, brother. That's so early. That's crazy early.
I mean, that's fine, but I'm absolutely going to say that it's your fault if you're unwilling to wake up at 10 o'clock.
That's okay. I accept blame.
So, yeah, it's until Tucker changes his mind, we're going to be a little bit inconsistent still for a little while.
Anyways, we made it to 08. The Rumble is coming, which means Mania is coming. And then we get to do it all again. You got anything to say to the folks, Puddy?
No, I hate them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. I also, I also hate them.